Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new here and this is your first time on my channel, hi, my name is Erin, and I like to do different videos on my channel here. I like to do makeup videos, beauty videos, as well as movie reviews and first time watches to movies I've never seen, particularly horror films, but I am going to be venturing out into other genres as well this year. So those are just my favorite types of movie is horror movies. But of course I like other genres as well. So that's what I do here on my channel. If you're interested in sticking around or checking out some more content, I will link some videos down in the description box if you want to check those out. Or on my channel, there are playlists to go through the different things that I do here on my channel. Movie reviews or first time watches playlist, or makeup reviews and rankings for makeup on my channel as well. So yeah. Also, if you want, after you've checked out some videos, definitely think about subscribing to the channel. The subscribe button is right down below, obviously. If you want to hit the subscribe button and join the family, I am very much growing. Quite exciting for me because I've just reached 500 subscribers. I'm thinking of doing something, I don't know, maybe a video or something for that, or something special. I'm not sure yet. If you have any ideas, definitely leave it in the comments. But I'm also going to do something special when I reach 1,000 subscribers. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you are new and you're not subscribed, or you keep coming back and you're not subscribed. Think about subscribing, as well as hit the like button on this video by the end if you like it, of course. So as you can probably tell by the title of the video, we're going to be doing a review of the movie Carrie, which came out in 1976. It is adapted from a Stephen King novel, which I have read, really like it. And it's a movie I grew up with. I really, spoiler, enjoy. So we're going to just go through my thoughts on it, what I actually liked about the movie, some background about it. And so if you're interested in seeing that, then definitely just keep on watching. All right, you guys. So, background first about my history with the movie Carrie and as well as the book. I have read the book Carrie. I actually saw the movie before I read the book, which happened with a lot of things for Stephen King because in my family we're avid horror movie watchers, from my sisters to my mom as well. So I grew up watching the movie as younger. So by the time I was older and I wanted to read the book, I had already seen the movie so many different times. So I went back and read the book later, and I really enjoyed it. I don't own that book. I own a lot of Stephen King books, and it's one of the authors I look for the most when I go to like secondhand stores as well, because usually you can find some of his books. But I don't own that one. I actually got it from the library, read it, returned it, absolutely loved it. And as you can tell, I've already seen the movie several times, grew up with it. So I'm very familiar with the movie. So before I get into what I liked about the movie or any issues I had with it, let's go and just lay out some background or some basic information about the movie first off. So this movie came out in 1976, like I mentioned before. It is R-rated. There are some like nudity scenes and some violence as well. It runs for an hour 38 minutes, and it has a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I do have notes for this stuff because I want to get it right. So if you see me looking down, that's why. Ratings don't always mean everything, but 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty high. I mean, that means that overall, from critics and moviegoers or watchers of this movie, it's a pretty well-liked movie and pretty highly regarded. The director is Brian De Palma, which I've never seen anything. I don't think I've ever seen any other Brian De Palma movies except for this one, and I really love this one. I love the way it's directed. I love the way it is shot. Everyone that played a part in the making of the movie, chef's kiss on that. And like I mentioned, it is based on Stephen King's Carrie, which I believe, I'm pretty positive, was his first book that he wrote. I'm pretty 100% sure about that, I think. Or like the first one got published or something. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. This movie stars some pretty big names as well, such as Sissy Spacek, yes. Piper Laurie, who plays the mom. Sissy Spacek plays Carrie. Amy Irving as well plays one of the teens in the movie. William Catt, Nancy Allen, PJ Souls, who was in Halloween. Yes. John Travolta. I mean, who doesn't know John Travolta? And Betty Buckley. Hopefully I said all those names correct. So pretty stacked cast as far as names that got way bigger, of course, after this movie, and some that were already huge, like Piper Laurie, who, funnily enough, aside, I read somewhere that she thought that this movie was like almost like comedic, and so that's how she was playing her part, which is quite funny when you think about it, because she's one of the scariest parts of this movie is she plays Carrie's mom. So fun little fact. All right, going into the synopsis or plot of the movie. This movie follows Carrie, which is the title of the movie, obviously. And Carrie is a shy, isolated, and alienated young teen who is bullied at her school and doesn't have any friends. She's pretty much isolated because of her home life, which includes her mother, who is quite an overzealous, extremely religious woman. And so Carrie is going through these things as a young woman, and she comes to figure out about herself that she has telekinesis, or these kind of supernatural powers. And she, as she's discovering this about herself, this results in some disastrous things that happens throughout the movie. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that this review is going to be spoiler review, because from this point on, because this movie is quite old. So if you have not seen this movie, definitely you need to go check it out, because it's like definitely a hallmark for horror movies and movies in general. It's really, really good. Like I said, spoiler, I like this movie. So if you haven't seen it from this point on, you might want to click off if you haven't seen it and you don't want to have any spoilers. But this movie is quite old, so I'm going to go ahead and just go out there. So with that, Carrie gets invited to she gets bullied really badly, and one incident occurs when she first has her period, and she doesn't know anything about it because her mother is, like I said, she's quite cuckoo. And so when she does that, she gets bullied about it from the other girls, and this spirals into one of the young girls, played by Amy Irving, having some pity for Carrie and asking her boyfriend to ask Carrie out to the prom. So Carrie gets invited to the prom. This causes some friction, of course, at home, because her mother is like, proms, boys, none of that, it's gonna work. And she ends up going anyways, and one of the other girls named Chris, who is like the biggest, meanest, girl bully at the among the group that we're following, she sets up this plan to humiliate Carrie, get her nominated as prom queen, and then she dumps pig blood on her, which in turn makes Carrie feel like everyone is laughing at her, is making fun of her, which is something her mother told her was going to happen. And so she uses her telekinesis to basically burn up the prom, kill everybody, and yeah. And in the ending, oh my gosh, the ending is so great. She goes home and has this huge final showdown with her mother, this confrontation of this like mom that just feels so much religious guilt, which she feels like Carrie should have never been born. And Carrie, who's coming into her telekinesis, who doesn't feel like it's something evil, who doesn't feel like it's something demonic, and they come to a head, and mom just really wants to take Carrie out at this point. The final showdown is absolutely amazing. So let me go into my things that I really enjoyed about this movie. All right, so first off, all of the things that I liked about this movie, pretty much, this is a pretty thick list here. So first off, it's filmed really, really well. I think you'll notice when you go into it, it's got this like almost dreamy feel to it, which I really, really enjoy. Maybe that was something of the era, but I definitely like the way, and it definitely has to do with, of course, the director and whoever filmed it and all the people that were involved in the making of the film. Very dreamlike almost in a way, but it definitely heightens your anxiety and fear throughout as well, and there's different points of that. Second good thing that I loved in this movie was the music, the score. I think all of it comes together, the whole soundtrack of the movie came together to definitely, like I said, heighten that anxiety, the fear, the sort of feeling like something is about to happen, which it finally does in that third act. And there's a lot of I'm going back to the way it was filmed, there's a lot of scenes that are just so iconic to me, like the prom scene, like when Carrie gets the blood dumped on her. And one scene that kind of always like gave me a creepy feeling, but also was so impactful in a way for me, was the scene with Carrie and her mom at the dinner table when she tells her she's going to go to prom. The mother throws a drink at her, and there's this big painting of the 12 disciples and Jesus, and they're sitting there in the dark after she throws the drink. The candles go out, and it's just so like almost symbolic for me. It's just, I really love that scene. So filmed well, great music, amazing acting. The acting in this movie, I mean, pretty much from every single person It's very solid. I mean, really good acting. Not even solid, it's good acting. Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie, of course, are like the shining stars of this movie. They just really do really great with their parts, with Sissy Spacek playing this shy, alienated young teen girl who's coming into herself, but also has this kind of darkness within her from being bullied and, you know, from never having any friends or real love. Whereas her mother plays this kind of really a psychotic mother who's just so involved in the religious aspects of Christianity that she doesn't even see that that's not what everything's supposed to be about. It's just amazing. They both do an awesome job. And like I said, the fact that Piper Laurie said that this was almost comedic to her, that she thought it was kind of funny, amazing. Really good acting from both of them. She actually is quite a scary antagonist, the mother. Piper Laurie playing Carrie's mother. She does a really good job. Like, she's pretty scary, like, for real. If I would have to do like a top scariest moms in horror movie, she would be up at the top for sure. All right, fourth thing that I have on my likes is that the horror and the mother, yeah. The mother's scary, yeah. Another thing I really like is that we do have kind of a sympathetic villain here within Carrie, because you can kind of sympathize with her, even though she takes it to that next level and actually starts killing people. And that's not something you want to sympathize with, of course not. But the build up to that is she's quite a sympathetic character and villain. She is a villain kind of when you think about it, but you can sympathize with her. It's almost like the Norman Bates situation as well. He's kind of a sympathetic, or like you can kind of feel for him, you know, because of their situation, because of what built up to them becoming like that. You kind of feel a little bit of sympathy, a little bit of relatability within the villain, and I definitely feel like that with Carrie, and I actually think that's a positive for this movie, for sure. And here's my next one, imagery. I already mentioned this briefly with like the painting with Jesus and his disciples. There's a lot of great imagery within this movie that I really enjoy, so that's definitely a positive. And then my last two are towards the end, the third act. I think the prom scene is iconic. I think they did a really good job. It was quite scary, and there even was parts where the actors really actually got hurt, which is not a positive, but that just shows their dedication to get in those scenes, get in that real life, like practical scariness that came through with that scene. So the prom scene is definitely iconic, from the blood drop when she was just standing there, and then the way they were, like, all of it was just really good. How she was just looking at the crowd and she was imagining things, and yeah, really, really good. The way Sissy Spacek acted in that prom scene is amazing. It's definitely a positive for me. And then also the captivating ending scene, the last ending scene, which is a jump scare ending, which I don't even know if anyone had done that before Carrie, because we see that in Friday the 13th, which came later. But coming up at the end, giving that final shock to the audience when Carrie's hand pops out of the grave, grabs, I don't remember her name in the movie, Amy Irving's character. You would think I would know all the character names when I've seen this movie like 20 plus times, but I love that scene as well when she grabs her hand. Amazing. So, really great final scare. So, all right. Oh, also the showdown between Carrie and her mom. A plus for sure. Negatives for this movie, there's not really any negatives for this movie, at least in my opinion. I will say there is one thing that I think was kind of a little off-putting with the build up to the prom, when the montage of them shopping for a prom was a little strange, almost like sitcom-y. Didn't feel like it really fit within I get where they were showing it, but I think if it was done a little differently, it would have fit better within the movie, especially like the guys going in and trying on tries. It was a little cartoony, but in the grand scheme of the whole movie, not a big deal, not a huge negative. That would probably be the only thing that I would say a little off. But with that in mind, I would have to give this movie a grade letter, and if I were to give it this grade, I would definitely give this an A+. I mean, it's great. It's a good movie. So if you've never seen Carrie, definitely you need to check it out. It's definitely worth watching. It gets an A+. A+ for sure. All right, you guys. That is the end of my review for Carrie from 1976. A really awesome movie. Not really dated or aged terribly at all. It's still good to this day. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. Like I said at the beginning, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, think about hitting the subscribe button below, as well as hitting the like button as well. And if you check the description box, you'll see other ways to, if you would like to support my channel, there are other links down in the description box of ways you can support the channel as well. So I will check you guys out in the next video. I hope you guys stay safe. Bye bye, adios.